All right, welcome to Notability Part 3. This is how we get in. I'm going to cover how we get in and send. We can send through email, or we can save things into Google Drive. And there's lots of different ways that we can go in and do this. So we'll kind of start tying things in together with multiple applications. So in other sessions, we talked about Google Drive and getting organized in there and creating folders and sharing folders. This is where your knowledge of that and being able to create a inbox folder for students and an outbox folder is going to be very useful, because you can take these things and manage all of them through Google Drive versus emailing back and forth and clogging up your inbox. So the few key things that you have to keep in mind is organizing and keeping your Google Drive organized, so you can manage it in here, and also using those naming conventions. Naming things, very, very important. All right. Let's take a look at that. Last time we left off, we were foldering, we were editing in here. So now we want to look at sending things or emailing things. We can do that from this home screen, or we can do it while we're physically inside of a note. Again, this is our magic button. The arrow coming out allows us to send things. So when I tap on that button, okay, I tapped on it. It might not look like much changed, but it allows me now to select the notes that I want to send. Select notes for sharing. So I can pick multiple notes if I want. Once I select them, you notice that this magic button again is not grayed out. So I can select it, and then I can choose what I want to do with this. Do I want to email it? And the only other one we really need to use in here is Google Drive. So let's look at email first. I select email, and it's going to ask me what file format I want it in. Okay, and I don't want it in PDF maybe, so I can choose PDF, rich text format, or a note. Here's the difference. PDF will go as a picture. Kids cannot edit it. It's going to go as a picture. That's it. Note will go in a file format that kids can put onto their iPad and edit further. So that's what you need to decide. Also, a note. If you send it as a note, if you have audio in there, they're going to be able to listen to that audio. Or if you want a kid to share something with you and you want to be able to hear their audio, choose the note function. Okay, so I'm going to go back here. And when I do that, once I get figured out what I want, I can go ahead and hit email note. One quick tip: if you're in PDF, don't have recordings on. It's going to make it very difficult for kids to open it if it's in that fashion. So make sure recordings are off, because PDF cannot hold recordings. All right. And then you can just hit email note, and it'll send it just like a normal email. You can choose who you want to send it to. All right. The other way to do this is through Google Drive. And when I select Google Drive, it's going to allow you some of the same functions as you did before, except for now I can choose what folder I want it to go to. So here's where that connection with Google Drive is very important. If I have a shared folder with students as an outbox, or students sending something to you if they have an inbox, here's where they can go choose that inbox folder and share it with you, and it's automatically in your Google Drive, organized, foldered nicely for you. So I can come in here, I choose folder. If you're not logged into Google Drive, it's going to pull up a login screen, and you're going to have to log into Google Drive to give you that access. Here are all of my folders that I have. I can choose the folder I want it to go to, and then I can hit the export button, and it will drop it into that folder. I'm going to go back right now. Before you do that, before you actually export it, you probably want to choose what file format you want it in. So again, you can do PDF, rich text format, or note. PDF and note are the two that you want to do. Again, it depends on whether you want to be able to edit it and whether or not you want audio in it. So those will be your two main options right there. So I'm going to go back. So that's how we get in, for the most part, and share from the main screen. So I'm going to get off the main screen here. I'm going to cancel this. You can also do these exact same things while in OneNote. So I'll just go into Note real quick. It looks the same and it feels the same, but you can only do one at a time in here while you're in a note. You can only do this note. If you're in the main screen, you could send 4, 5, 6 things, even more, to email or Google Drive versus one at a time. So there's our magic button. When I tap it, you're going to see it looks very similar to what it did in the other screen. So email or Google Drive is where you'd want to be. You might use open in another app. If you want to send something in a PDF version to another application, you could do that with this button as well. All right, we'll get out of here. The other thing I wanted to cover real quick, which is a great functionality, is to auto sync all of your notes. Create a backup in Google Drive if you want to. This is kind of optional. This is a little higher end maybe, but if you hit the gear down here, I'll just show you where it's at and you can investigate it further on your own if you want. When I hit that gear, it'll allow me to sync my notes to Google Drive. So every single note in here will automatically go to Google Drive to create a backup of it. So kind of cool function there. If you want more information or that's something you're interested in, you can play with it, or I can walk you through it at another moment in time. All right, that's how we go in and share and send things. I'm going to create one more video for you, Notability Part 4, which will show you how to import things that are saved somewhere else back into Notability.